Hey y'all, Wacky Wormer here with episode 12 of my HermitPack series. Last episode you saw where we got our Ender IO Dark armor up and going. We also made an Ender sword and enchanted that with some vanilla stuff. I showed you how all that worked. In between episodes, I've let my Void Ore miner run for a while. I actually AFK'd several hours in here just so it can run alongside this Torturino here, which speeds up the tick rate of blocks within a certain radius around it. And so this thing's producing a lot of ores for me, and it's really nice. Remember last episode I said it would not produce osmium ore? Well, it turns out there's a config file for it. If you look in the environmental tech folder in your config folder, you're going to see a void ore miner.json or something like that. If you open that up in just Notepad or whatever, it's a very simple formatted file, and it's pretty obvious how you can go in and add in osmium ore. The ore dictionary name for osmium ore, I don't know. Yeah, right there at the bottom of that little tooltip where it's the dash ore osmium, that's the name you're going to want to use in that config file. So just remember that. Everything else, just take a look at it. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, so now that's generating osmium. Something else I've done in between episodes. One other thing I did was I added not one but two new gas burning generators. So I've got 3 in total now. They're churning out, well, a good bit of RF, and it's keeping up with this guy running at an increased speed. I also made one of these screens from RF Tools. You make these modules and kind of assign them to blocks. If you just have the module in hand and right click or shift right click on a block, I think it was, it'll kind of assign itself to that block. And so now this energy module is reading from my energy cube there, and it's telling me exactly how much RF I have in it. So it's read out right up there. It doesn't work so well with most Mekanism things. I tried to use the inventory one to check, just so I could see, like what ore is currently being processed. It did not work for that, but it did work with the energy cube, so that's nice, and I just get an immediate readout of how much energy I have in there. So I've got the 3 gas burning generators in there. They're producing a ton of energy. I had to add some speed upgrades here in order for this thing to churn out ethylene fast enough. I had to add, did I add speed? Yeah, I added a couple of speed upgrades here, and then I also did some more work upstairs in the farm. Let me show you that real quick. Remember, we were having the problem still in last episode. I changed out that chest that it's storing all the stuff in into 2 of the storage drawers, but I had the problem where when one of them emptied, it would double up. So like if this ran out of seeds, then there's a decent chance it would pick up a wheat instead of seeds, and then we'd have double wheat and not pick up seeds any longer. Well, you can craft one of these drawer keys right here, and just a right click onto the storage drawer will lock in whatever item is in there. So that fixed that problem. Now they're stuck. Also had to add another Torturino up here to make sure that we were supplying fast enough. They do feel kind of cheaty, but I mean it is modded Minecraft, and it's in the pack, so I went ahead and used it, and so everything's working out pretty well for us now in terms of all that. Let me drop off all the stuff I just picked up there. This episode, we are going to do our ore quadrupling setup. Also, I guess I should mention I did do a little bit of expansion. I wanted, it was just getting too crowded in here. So I pulled all of my Applied Energistics 2, the main stuff, I pulled that out into here. The machines are right here. The crystal growth accelerators are over here. So everything's kind of nice and tidy in there. And then we're actually going to be moving our ore processing over into this room. And that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, again, I just kind of want to spread things out a bit, especially because Mekanism, unlike Ender IO, for example, Mekanism, each pipe needs its own block space. So things are getting really crowded back here. And especially with the ore quadrupling setup, which is going to add another gas for us to use, it's just kind of a mess. So I wanted to split that off and put it in a separate area. And it would be nice if, you know, this was dedicated to power generation. You know, eventually we're going to have a reactor, which is going to take up a pretty good bit of space. And, you know, this stuff is just in the way. And so I wanted to move that. And the third reason, actually, is we're going to be building a pretty large multi-block structure. And my poor planning in the early game, early game, this is directly below part of my house and the farm, and I'd have to relocate a bunch of things to get that multi-block structure, you know, nearby, or I'd have to run pipes a long ways away. If I come out over here, I'm off to the side of my house, and I don't have that problem anymore. So that's why everything's kind of moved over, and that's just going to make life a lot easier for us, I think. Anything else I can dump? No, I think that's it. I have my configurator. Yep. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and grab these. Remember, with the Mekanism configurator, Shift M is what changes the state that it's in. So in order to pick up items like this with a shift right click, you want to make sure it's in the wrench state. And that's going to allow me to pick up not only the machines themselves, but these pipes here, if I can get around there to them, and other things. So just remember that. I'm also going to need that, but I'll come back for it. Let's just go ahead and get these machines down first. So now, with this new setup, the first machine in the sequence is going to be a chemical injection chamber. So that's this new guy here. This is going to take the ores and hydrogen chloride, some kind of acid thing, and that's going in here. You know, kind of like the purification chamber takes oxygen, and that's what this is going to do with the hydrogen chloride. Not only does it take an extra machine, but we're also going to have to produce another liquid, and which is why we need that multi-block structure. So now we're back to our regular setup. So a purifying factory on top. Then I need the crusher next. Then the enriching factory, and then finally the smelting factory. So that's going to be our new setup. And we're going to move those items around in this kind of little humpback process here. We can go ahead and output to the top. None. We'll be inputting from the left just like the last time. This one, output to the side, nothing on top. Inputting from the bottom, and injection on. Oh, it was already on. Input from the left, output down below, input from the top, output to the right, input from the left, and output. This one, I think it's going to be out the back. We're going to have to see if we have enough room. Possibly out the back. Alright, power cabling. So I think, let's see, if I know we need, this is the purifying factory, and I'm pretty sure I got a little drawing over here that I did in Creative, or a screenshot that I took from Creative. That's kind of helping me out here. So I know that's going on top. That's our oxygen insertion point, right? And that's coming back, is coming over like so, back to, and then we're going to go down from there. So I'm going to need to hollow out a little more space. So that's going to go like that. This guy is going to go straight like so. Then for power, we're coming in, let's see, universal cable. Okay. think that's right. Hopefully that's right. Alright. So that's all that. We're gonna need some machines that I left in the back over here, because I did originally plan on putting it over here. Did I pick up a... Got one electrolytic separator. No, I got two. Okay. Making sure I grab two of them. We're gonna need these electrolytic separators. One there. And... one there. The Chemical Infusor, I believe, is around backwards like so. And then this guy, let's see, do I have to pressurize? Yeah. So this guy, this is part of our normal process from before, right? We're producing hydrogen and oxygen. That oxygen is coming out and going into our purifying factory. So this used to be the starting point. Now, instead of taking the hydrogen from there and running that to our power production, we're going to be running that into this chemical infuser. And this guy, if we show recipes, he can take hydrogen and chlorine and produce hydrogen chloride. Now you notice he wants to take hydrogen on the left. I've got him turned around backwards because I'm not sure if it'll work in crossways or not. They didn't used to. That's something I should have tested, but I didn't. So that's how that's going to work, okay? And finally, we do need power over here, which we can run 1, 2, 3, and I'm one short on my universal cable. I'll get that in a second. Okay, so this is most of the operation. The big thing that we're missing is what's supplying the chloride, and we're going to get that from our multi-block structure. So we're going to run a pipe right above this block right here. We're going to take this straight up to the surface. Alright, so this episode is running a little long, so I'm going to split it up and actually do the multi-block structure next episode. I just wanted to show you guys where that pipe is running. It's going to be coming right up through here. So we're going to have a big 4x4 multi-block structure here. The solar or thermal evaporation plant, I think it's called. Pretty tall. It's a variable number. It can go up to like 18 blocks tall. Not sure how tall I'm going to make it for right now. But we're going to do all that next episode. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave it in the comment section. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, then please subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next episode.